New tonight, the murder conviction Robert Durst was serving a life sentence for in California has been vacated. That's according to the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, who says the conviction no longer stands since it was being appealed when Durst died today.
The Houston lawyer who represented the 78-year-old real estate heir for decades still says Durst was not an evil man, just misunderstood. Here's Matt Doherty.
You would never tell us, correct?
Correct.
Nothing further.
78-year-old Robert Durst ultimately served less than 3 months of his life sentence.
To be on record for the longest living predator ever.
To the dismay of the family members of Susan Berman, that wouldn't happen. In September, a California jury convicted Durst for shooting and killing his best friend back in 2000. Prosecutors say Susan Berman was about to admit she gave Durst a false alibi after his first wife, Kathleen, disappeared back in 1982.
He's been wrongfully accused for 40 years.
It was the second murder trial for which Durst hired Houston criminal defense attorney Dick DeGuerin. DeGuerin first met Durst back in 2001 when the multi-millionaire was hiding out in Galveston disguised as a deaf-mute woman. During his time there, he got into a fight with his neighbor Morris Black, shooting him, dismembering his body, and then throwing the remains into Galveston Bay. He claimed self-defense and was acquitted.
Bob had a mind of his own and his own ideas.
DeGuerin says his former client wasn't an evil man. He says he was misunderstood.
He's always been a loner. He's always been viewed by his contemporaries or anybody that knew him as a little bit odd. That's explained pretty thoroughly by the fact that he's on the autism spectrum.
His time in Texas had other bizarre incidents, too. In 2014, while living in Houston, Durst was fined $500 after he was caught on video urinating on the candy rack at the CVS pharmacy off Kirby near Rice Village.
There were times he just couldn't help himself but get into trouble.
Bob was odd. He was different from most of us.
DeGuerin says he was appealing the conviction from the Berman case, but he wasn't representing Durst for the third murder trial that won't ever happen now. Shortly after he was sentenced to life, Durst was charged with second-degree murder for the death of his wife, Kathy, who hasn't been seen in 40 years. In Houston, I'm Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.